All right, everyone. Welcome back to Stories from a Mountain Town. This is your host, Tyler Meany, here, coming at you live from Jackson, Wyoming, up on Saddle Butte. And with me today, I have my good friend, Alex Kissonergis.
There you go. You
Kissonergis.
got it
I
this
got it
time.
this time. Right before we started recording, I had to ask him to say it, even though we've known each other for a while now. But yeah, welcome to the show.
Thanks. This
And
is
we have,
exciting.
yeah, definitely exciting. You're our second guest after our other buddy Jeff was on a couple weeks ago. Now is when I last
The guy.
recorded that. Yeah, so you have some big size 10 shoes to fill.
I'm an 11.
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
just
overfill
think he's smaller. And for the episode today, we both have ourselves a glass of whiskey. I have some Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon. And Alex has some Tin Cup American whiskey. Have you had Tin Cup before?
Yeah. If you were going to ask me before the show what you wanted me to bring, I was going to say Tin Cup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
good
It's
stuff.
super drinkable. And then I'm a sucker for marketing. Like the way they brand it as like a mountain whiskey really like pulls on me.
Oh, yeah. It's home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's like, so if you haven't heard Tin Cup, it's just an American whiskey. It's pretty mild, right? It's pretty super drinkable. It's not anything crazy fancy. It's not expensive, but it comes with a little tin shot glass on the cap.
It's not there now.
Yeah, well, I actually have it up. I have it up there. And then its bottle is like this. What is this? Like a hexagon or an octagon shape, and then it's thicker glass for a couple reasons, so that if you drop it, it won't break if you drop it on like some rocks or gravel if you're on a mountain. And then it's the shape it is so it won't roll or slide down a mountain if you do drop it out there.
Oh, is that the purpose?
Yeah, I looked it up on their website.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's like this would roll down a mountain.
So it's functional too. It's not just
functional whiskey for being in the mountains. And all the marketing, all their branding is all like, bring us on the mountains because you don't need anything but the bottle and the cup that comes with it, and we're your mountain whiskey. And as you guys may know, I love the mountains, so that makes me want to buy it. But yeah,
It's good stuff. And they don't sponsor you, so you're just talking from the heart there, huh?
yeah. Tin Cup, if you're listening, I would love a bottle.
Maybe 3.
Yeah, maybe 3. You can be. We're taking offers to be the official whiskey of Stories from Mountain Town. If anybody is interested in that, we're definitely open.
At Tin Cup Whiskey.
At Tin Cup, if you're listening. Or Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace is really good too. Just doesn't have that mountain aspect to it that I love.
Buffalo, Wyoming, it's still there.
Yeah. It's from Kentucky, but I don't think they've had buffalo there for a long time.
No,
or ever.
not since we wiped them all out, probably.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those freaking pictures of, like, during the pioneer times of the pile of buffalo skulls?
With the guy he stands up there like he's mountaineering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like taller than my house.
Oh, it's grotesque. It's morbid. It's awful.
Yeah, buffalo used to like literally be across the entire plains from like the Sierra Nevadas to the Mississippi, basically, I think, or even farther east than that.
Mm-hmm.
But like herds in the thousands, and now like we see a lot of them here, but they're not in the thousands.
No,
and I don't think you see them many other places. In South Dakota, you see them plenty of times in like around the Black Hills, but probably in Colorado too. But there's not just the massive range that there used to be.
Imagine being pioneers or settlers, and you got this big animal with tons of meat that doesn't move very fast.
Yeah.
Just sits there.
Yeah.
Easy pickings.
I wonder if their guns like had issues
It's a good
doing any
question.
damage to a buffalo, because buffaloes like hides are really
Big things.
thick and their skin and bones are really hard.
'Cause they have elephant guns, right?
They're
That
I
are
don't
guns
know.
for elephants.
Yeah. Now
Pretty
they do.
sure.
I don't know.
Don't
Like
quote
back in there is a thing called an elephant gun. So it's like a giant round. I don't know anything about guns, but
I picture the Looney Tunes.
yeah,
Yosemite Sam comes out with the big like bell shaped elephant gun.
yeah, and just
Don't
like
know if it's
it
real.
launches like a cannonball.
That's all I know about elephant guns.
Yeah, I always think whenever I go to Mormon Row here, you've been there
Yeah, right by
in front of the Grand.
yeah.
Yeah. So for the listeners who haven't been here, you've probably seen pictures if you've ever looked up the Grand Teton or Grand Teton National Park. There's this barn, this row of old barns right out in front of it, and takes really awesome pictures. Where a bunch of Mormons settled in like the 1800s, and I always think because it's right in the migration route for the elk and buffalo in the area. Mm-hmm. So imagine you settle there in the summer when you get there whenever, and there's no elk around really. It's that time, and then one day you just wake up and there's thousands of elk out your door.
Have you heard those things yell?
Yeah.
Oh, it's creepy.
Yeah.
That's one of the scariest noises I've ever heard.
Really?
I can't imagine waking up to hundreds of those things doing that.
Yeah, that would be nuts. I bet once they're in the refuge, we'll be able to hear them.
Oh, from your house?
Yeah. If the windows
Actually,
are open.
I'm living over there now too.
Yeah, you could probably hear them.
Maybe.
Yeah. So Alex, when did you move to Jackson?
I've been out here a little over a year. So September of last year.
Wow. I didn't realize you came that early. And you came out for... Did you start at a full-time job or an internship with Stio?
No. I came out here. I was working at a hotel north of town.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which
one? The Flat Creek Inn. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Isn't that the one right at the base of my road?
No. It's the furthest north hotel.
Oh.
So the one that has like the art gallery.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, across from the elk refuge.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I had taken the first job that called me out here. So they were the first.
Yeah, I was always hesitant about getting too worried about like just jumping on the first opportunity out here. I kind of wanted to do it my way or like a less stressful way.
Yeah.
To just instead of just like picking up everything, getting a job that relates to here. I wanted to bring my job with me, which was I don't know what you're doing before that, but I don't know if it's not always doable.
No, I mean I had to take the first job or the first opportunity. That was just the easiest way to do it for me to get out here and get a foot in the door, so to speak.
It is hard to get here when you're not here or near here.
And you don't have like friends or family that live here.
Yeah. Because so much of
difficult.
Like housing and even probably job postings is like word of mouth and newspaper. Jackson's one of the few towns where the newspaper is actually valuable.
Yeah, the newspaper, for those of you that don't live in Jackson, is pretty much the only way, other than word of mouth, to find housing here. You're not going to find anything on Zillow or rent.com or anything. If you
want to buy a house for like $2 million, there's a lot of that on Zillow.
Right.
But there's no
rentals
and no rentals that are like any sort of middle class price.
No. The housing here is a big situation in most mountain towns, from what I understand.
Yeah. This one, Jackson is different than most mountain towns because of the scarcity of land.
It's completely surrounded by federal land.
Yeah. There's only, my buddy Fred, who's the real estate agent here, he told me there's only like 3% or something of developable land in Teton County left. So that takes out everything that's already been built on the town. It takes up the Elk Refuge, the National Park, National Forest.
Any of the parks in town.
And any of the city parks and any of the area along the Snake that's a floodplain.
So where the sporting club is? Or is that too far south?
Well, that's Teton County still, yeah.
Is it?
So yeah, and even the sporting club, most of their golf course is like on a floodplain. They had to like do a ton to keep the river back
Right.
Where the holes are closest to the snake.
Yeah, I'd heard about that. Have you golfed there?
Yeah, twice. Once, a few years ago, we were just out here for the summer, and that guy Fred, he was selling the houses on the course for them, and they just let him come out and play. So me, my dad, my brother, and him played around, and it was like a 6-hour round, like the longest round ever because it's a super hard course. And then the other time was this summer. I just met this guy named Ryan Guthrie at the Cowboy Bar randomly, and he said he worked there. And then my buddy Alex was out, and he's a big golfer, and I'm a golfer. So we're like, yeah, we golf, blah, blah, blah. We're doing, we play at the links a lot. They allow dogs. And he was like, oh, yeah, I work for the sporting club, and we can go. I'd love to take you out there someday. So we did this summer.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's the hardest and nicest course I've ever played, and it's not even a question. There's no question.
Really?
It's very nice, but it's so difficult because it's in. You've driven past it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I've been on the river, and it's not a very big like part of the canyon that it's in. So the wind is just always every direction. Like, no joke, you'll hit your tee shot and you feel it one direction, and then it'll go a different direction because it's different up where your ball would be. Mm-hmm. And then you get out to where you hit your ball, and it's a totally different direction, and it's always swirling. And then they dry the course out on purpose. So the greens are hard. They're like, there's a word for it, but it's like where they're kind of shaped like this, kind of like dome shaped, the greens are. So that if you are on the edges, their ball will trickle off.
Sneaky.
Yeah. So it's just it's like a lot of nice courses do it.
Sure.
I think it's Pinehurst is a famous one that does it on the tour. They're famous for those style of greens. And then at Sporting Club, they do the way they set up the holes. So the fairway is a normal width, fast and nice, and then the rough is very skinny, and then it goes right to like big long fescue. So there's times where if you're not hitting at the right angle or didn't hit a good shot, you'll one hop in the fairway, one hop in the rough, and then you lose your ball. So you just lose a ton of balls out there. If you keep it under 100, it's a good day.
So you got to come packing.
Yeah, but it's you don't. Those are the kind of courses you're not playing them because you think you're going to shoot par. It's the experience of it. Because you're just at this like majestic course where there's not a blade of grass out of place and everything's perfect, and like when you putt, your lines are totally perfect, and so it's just you want to appreciate it for what it is and not for the opportunity to like have a low score.
Right.
Do you golf at all?
No. Most of my friends from high school were on the golf team, mm-hmm. and I was the odd man out. Never found a good drive, so I never wanted to go out and do it for fun.
Yeah.
I'm a competitive guy, so it was never, when I'm not good at it, I might steer clear from it.
Yeah, it takes a while to get into it, and there's very few people that are just like, they're in it and they're really good right away. It's like the motion you have to do, I think there's a quote from like Byron Nelson or something. He's like a golf legend that says like, when you're swinging a golf club, whatever your body is trying to get you to do the opposite. Mm-hmm. It's just like the epitome of like how difficult a good golf swing is to repeat and get your body to do over time. Mm-hmm. Makes it hard for a newcomer to really have any sort of good swing.
Yeah, and did your dad golf?
Yeah,
brothers. Yeah, my dad golfed, but probably when I was young, not to the point where I ever had the chance to learn with him.
Yeah.
So independently getting into golf, I feel like isn't as common as getting brought into it from a younger age, or maybe like once you hit business. Business level stuff.
Yeah, our dad was always like, chipping around the yards. We would do that with him when we were kids, and. Mm-hmm. And then he would like sometimes bring us with him to the driving range and whatever. So it was like a thing you do with your dad. But a lot of people too, they get out of college and they get their big boy job,
right?
And they're like, all right, I want to start golfing now.
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, I got my big boy job out here, so this probably isn't the golf mecca of the world. Most people have other hobbies. I mean, obviously you golf. I know a ton of people that golf out here, but
it's hard to. It's like the courses here in Jackson, only two of them. I mean, there's like 5 or 6. Only 2 of them allow non-members to play.
Right.
And it's pretty expensive.
Which
to play
2 of those?
Teton Pines and Jackson Hole Golf and Tennis.
Golf and tennis does? I didn't know that.
Yeah, for like $150 for a non-member.
Too much money.
Yeah. That's just a lot for one round of golf.
It's a day at the ski resort.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then there's courses on the other side of Teton Pass, which is in Idaho, and they have some more manageable ones. Like I played today, and the one that I play 99% of my rounds at is the Links at Teton Peaks. It's only like $30 a round, and they allow dogs. And for the listeners, I'm getting the head pro there, Brent Baldwin, on either Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll record another episode, so that'll be coming up soon after this one. So you hear more about that course and how I met him and my relationship with him. As you know, I do all the marketing for them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more golfer-friendly courses over on that side.
Lower cost of living over there too.
Yeah.
Brings the price down.
Yeah, there's also a ton of back when, like right before the recession hit, they were building all these like fancy neighborhoods over there to be like either, it's around a golf course and there's nice houses, or it's like around like a place people could keep their horses at and they could ride their horses there, and the nice houses around it, or it's near Targhee and they're a ski cabin for someone. And then the recession hit, and then like a lot of places, all those investments just flopped because then no one had any money to buy a house there. And they thought that because of the scarcity over here, people would spill over to there because it's just as close, it's just as beautiful, you can do all the same stuff, but it's just like a little cheaper, and there's plenty of open land there to develop. But then, yeah, it just never hit. So, when was the last time you drove? When you went
to Driggs?
Yeah, when you went to Targhee?
Yeah, we went ski Targhee maybe 4 weeks ago. Yeah.
So if you see like these different neighborhoods that's popped up, there's like 5 houses in a space that should have 50. And so that's what happened over there. So you could probably actually, right now, probably not as much. They're pretty high value, but in other times, you could probably get some of those houses for a nice price.
Right. More affordable than in the valley here.
Yeah. The rule here in Jackson in the real estate market is whether it's a house or just land, if you can see the Grand Teton, it's worth $2 million. And that rule holds pretty true. Just about everywhere.
You can't see it from here, can you?
Yeah, we can see it out of this door, just the very tip of it. The very top of it is just over the Amangani.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So Taylor and I rent this place, so we didn't buy this for $2 million. We don't have $2 million.
Cash.
Yeah. But there's plenty of houses for sale up here that are just obscenely amounts of zeros.
Oh, yeah.
So you grew up in Detroit. Could you just kind of talk us through what it was like living there and having your family work in the auto industry when all that stuff was happening and during the recession, and like, how it affected your day-to-day life, how it affected, everything, because it was pretty substantial what happened.
Yeah, I mean, no place got hit harder than Detroit. Just devastated the area. Yeah. An already devastated area, just from the history of Detroit. Day-to-day life, I was in middle school when it happened, so I wasn't too personally affected, but I was affected in the sense that you could see the stress level in my dad coming home. My dad worked for Chrysler. Um, his stress level went through the roof, and you could see it. Like, you know when your parents are stressed.
Yeah.
And I had tons of friends move away. Like, probably half of my close friends moved away. And you could just see the area financially get destroyed. It was bad. Mm-hmm. Traditionally, I'd say I come from a more conservative family. Not maybe socially, but fiscally. And my dad was like, I think everybody's going to vote for Obama on this one because he's going to bail us out.
Yeah.
And the Republicans didn't want to. So you had this huge, Michigan was already a blue state, but it went really blue right after that because the conservatives didn't want to bail out the auto companies during the recession. Mm-hmm. And Obama did.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Generally, I'm not a big like federal government stepping in to do stuff kind of guy, but that situation was one of them where it's like, this is probably the right move.
Yeah, so much of the country, I forget the number. It's a way higher percentage than you think it is dependent on the auto industry.
Yeah, you've told me this before because it's like not just the manufacturers, but then it's like tires. There's
suppliers, parts, dealerships.
The parts, even in when like Chrysler makes a car, there's components from a bunch of different other companies too.
Oh yeah, you got probably hundreds of different companies making parts for one car.
And then everyone that works at dealerships, and then the servicing of them, and then everything down the line, and then obviously also the consumer, mm-hmm. where if like Chrysler or Ford or one of the big ones went under, how long would it take for American innovation to give us another option like one of those big ones?
I just don't think we have. We're like, capitalism in this country has grown to the point where you have these mega companies.
Yeah.
You don't see like any. There's a reason you don't see any small car companies coming to the market. Tesla is like the newest example of a car company coming into the market. And it's just like, imagine trying to break in with the amount of parts and technology in a car. Like if Ford and Chrysler and GM went under, like you probably wouldn't have an American auto company other than Tesla.
Yeah.
In my uneducated opinion.
Yeah, you're totally right. And there's that. Everyone is afraid of, or everyone hates the term too big to fail. But in this situation, since it's not just like the Wall Street banks, mm-hmm. it's people that work in factories, like we just said, all the people that are affected by it. It's not too big to fail, but it's just too important to the soul of America to let fail.
Yeah, and it's iconic too. Like imagine Jeep. Jeep's just like a Coca-Cola,
the most iconic car, yeah.
Or or Ford would be like that too, probably.
Yeah, wasn't there one of the dealerships didn't take the
Ford didn't take a bailout.
The bailout, yeah.
Yeah, GM and Chrysler did. Ford, I think it set themselves up well enough beforehand to manage it themselves.
Yeah. That's good too. That's a good way that they did that. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that, everyone. I just got a text.
He's a popular guy.
This happened last time too, and I told myself I got to turn off the sound beforehand, but I forgot.
But it's interesting though, because I was just reading this article on automotive, and I don't know if you heard this, but Fiat Chrysler is one company, right?
Yeah.
So Chrysler owns Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Chrysler. Fiat owns Ferrari, Maserati, Fiat, all those. And they just merged with Peugeot, a French company who owns Opel and a lot of like cars you see in Europe. And the article was saying that we might see more and more like mega mergers like this in the automotive industry just because they're going to have to brace for this electric vehicle wave that's going to hit here.
Yeah.
And so like to lower the costs of developing this technology and everything, you're going to see all these car companies merge into one.
Is that good, do you think, or not good?
I don't know. I think that's what happens. I think that's what happens over time. I mean, you see all these media companies merge right now.
Yeah, what is there, like
phone companies?
4? There's only 4 media companies.
I think that's just the nature of capitalism.
Yeah, but true capitalism should see, they get so super big, and then they're eating up every other company like theirs, and then something happens, and then they just kind of dissolve, and there's always going to be disruptors to the markets, and so Tesla kind of is that. So if there's other companies that pop up like Tesla, they could disrupt that sort of thing, and then it's like maybe this big conglomerate can't keep up. But
I think
it seems lately like they get so much power and influence where then they can then they get into like buying out politicians, and that's a whole different issue.
Lobbying,
and that's when like that stuff is why people sometimes don't like capitalism,
right?
Because it allows certain industries to have influence when it should really just be who can provide a good product or a product that people want to buy in the most efficient way, and then if you can't, you lose.
Right.
Within reason to keep people safe.
Yeah, I think with how expensive it's gotten to enter a market, like we were talking about earlier, where what did like Elon Musk have to do to start Tesla? The guy sold PayPal for billions. He
started a company and then used that money to invest or to grow PayPal, and then used PayPal to invest into Tesla.
Right. So like
then he had to borrow money from friends for rent.
Yeah. I mean, like, so
we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars that he said, no, I don't want to pocket it. I'm going to just put it into my new company. But friend, can I have a couple $1,000s for rent?
And so like you used to have companies like Dodge. The Dodge brothers worked for Ford Motor Company.
Mm.
They didn't need to be billionaires to start a new company like you do nowadays.
Yeah. There's probably there's some movie, and I have no clue what it is, but I saw it in like high school, where there was a disruptor in like the 80s or the 70s where this guy came out with a whole new style of engine, a whole new style of car, and he tried to like sell the idea to the big car companies, and they just laughed him out of the room, just shut him down, and then just like kind of sabotaged his effort to create his own car company. Mm-hmm. So there could be a conspiracy warning here. There could be like efforts from big car companies to shut down disruptors because they want to continue to hold the industry like they have.
Right. I also thought Tesla was interesting, kind of on a disruptor chain of thought there, because Tesla. Do you remember when Tesla first came out? It was like a primo luxury vehicle.
Yeah. And
they cost a ton of money.
Uh-huh.
And like you had to be very wealthy to afford one. And then he kind of brought it down to where they made a $35,000 Tesla, try to bring it more down to the people, mass scale.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the only way to enter an industry like that would be to start off high end with low volume, and then work your way down.
Yeah, if you can market it as such, and it looks.
We're starting a business here, guys.
Yeah, watch out, Elon.
Coming for you.
I like Teslas are such a cool thing because of their performance ability, but the people, and if you buy them and like them because it's just like this crazy technological advancement and it's good for innovation and all that stuff, that's super cool. But if you're buying them because you think it's saving the earth or stopping air pollution, those people probably need to do some more research.
Yeah, the like components that go into those batteries are very.
Yeah, have you ever seen a picture of like a lithium mine? What they use to put in those batteries? It's like
what you get is water vapor and heat.
Yeah,
and so your emissions would literally be water vapor.
Water.
Yeah,
but then there'd be something there too where it's like the heat from hydrogen fuel cells is heating up the planet, some shit like that.
I don't know. There's
always something when you consume natural energy that comes from nature.
Could you see? I think it's Korea. One of the Korean companies is using hydrogen fuel cells. You're going to be the Jamie of the Joe Rogan podcast.
Can you be our young Jamie? Young Noah.
Can you pull it up?
Hey, Noah, I think it's one of the Korean companies, I'm pretty sure.
Am I looking something up here?
Yeah. Could you find out who's developing hydrogen fuel cells in the automotive industry?
Your guy.
You're my guy. Noah's going to sit in the corner on every one of these podcasts now.
Yeah.
You're going to pay him, in beer.
Yeah.
And he's going to
But I'll just be pissed off at it all the time.
Paying me in PBR.
Yeah.
Who's developing...
So we're going to start you off at a rate of 10 PBR per episode?
I'm down.
Noah's...
That was more than I was...
Noah is PBR's biggest customer.
Here's another sponsorship opportunity.
Yeah, PBR, if you're listening, we're available.
At PBR Beer.
Yeah.
At Noah Ryle.
I'm
just a middleman here.
Get some product placement here.
When Noah walks into our local watering hole, the Bird here in Jackson, none of the servers or bartender ever ask him what he wants. They just hand him a PBR pounder.
One time I saw...
What else could you want?
One time I saw one bartender... You know the scene from Star Wars? We're in the pit.
The Sarlacc pit?
The Sarlacc pit. And they all look at each other and nod.
Uh-huh.
I kid you not. There's two bartenders back there. One of them looks at the other one, looks at Noah, nods to the other one. And the guy grabs a PBR, hands down the chain. Straight out of Star Wars.
Oh, man, that's amazing.
I do remember that.
And you've done that. You've done that, and you've only lived here since November? Last November?
No, December.
December?
December 31st.
Yeah, in less than a year, Noah trained his bartender. He does.
It helps that he lives above.
He lives in an apartment connected to the bar. Yeah.
That was some necessary background information.
Yeah, but still,
it's impressive nonetheless.
Yeah.
Glad you guys are impressed by my PBR drinking.
Yeah.
I am always so impressed when I go to the Bird, and I just love how the servers don't care who gets you a drink. Like, I was sitting there one day, waiting for you guys, and it was 10 minutes or something, and I'm pretty sure I got asked, do I need a drink? 15 times. No. Everybody working there made sure that I was either going to get a drink or getting a drink, and at that day I was waiting to get one until you guys got there, so I just had to say no to 15 people.
Yeah, they're on their game. Noah and I went there for brunch one time. If you haven't gone for brunch, you should go.
Not yet.
They don't have coffee, though. Bring your own coffee.
You can bring your own coffee.
Elon Musk is against it, but Amazon is all for it. That's what Google says.
The hydrogen fuel cells?
Yeah.
Which auto company?
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
How do you take a company the size of Amazon and you get to be the spokesperson on Amazon's opinion on hydrogen fuel cells? Was it Bezos himself? Or is it
I don't know.
Who do they ask for what's Amazon's opinion on hydrogen fuel cells? One of 10,000 employees? I don't know how many they have, but
that's I've gotten calls at the customer experience line at CO, people asking the company's view on hey, I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy.
Yeah. Customer service is not where you want to get that headline.
Oh, yeah. You were telling me about that call you got with the, are you for oil?
Yeah. I was well, I'm not the guy to say.
Patagonia turned us down. Will you?
Yeah. I was what's going on here?
Have you guys seen the recent stuff about backcountry.com?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
yep.
So the listeners...
You're telling me.
Backcountry.com, it's a website where you can buy all the outdoor brands and ski and snowboard gear and camping gear, and it's a pretty good website for all that stuff. And they also make their own stuff also. They obviously have a trademark on the word backcountry because it's their company name, and they've recently been suing a bunch of small companies that also have the word backcountry in their name. And it's I've read a bunch of articles about it. Half people are screw backcountry, boycott backcountry. I've seen a bunch of that out here.
If your name was a word before you were a company,
yeah, you can't sue other people who are using it as a geographic
Don't be an asshole.
geologic term or whatever it is.
Well,
Because it's like it'd be like Aspen Backcountry Outfitter, and they're suing them, or
Is that true? Is that what it was?
it's stuff like that. Yeah, it's like
is that an organization that they sued?
not exactly no,
Okay.
but
You
stuff
just
like
give an
that where
example.
it's like
No,
this town
I
Backcountry
just don't know the
Outfitter.
name of-
Yeah, that's the style of company they're suing. One called Backcountry Babes, which is like an avalanche and backcountry education organization for women. They're suing them because they were backcountry. So it's like half screw backcountry, and then it's like half supporting because it's. I mean, they're following the law. They're following trademark law, so they're doing everything they need to do. They just want to own that word more, I guess.
Well, they sued. What am I trying to say here? They sued Mount Bohemia. Mount Bohemia doesn't have, didn't they?
No, Mount Bohemia just posted something.
Oh, Mount Bohemia just posted something. I'm
They
misunderstood.
did not
audience.
sue Mount Bohemia yet.
Never mind. Mount Bohemia just makes good T-shirts that are anti-backcountry.com right now.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had gone there when I lived in Minnesota because it's like a full. Can we say the word?
Backcountry.com.
Oh God, it's a full backcountry resort.
They have a lift.
Yeah, but it's not like groomed, right? That's the thing.
You know, I don't know. I'm not informed. Don't quote me.
Don't quote me. We're only here so we don't get fined.
Oh, it's really amazing.
So, Alex, so what was your thought process? You're living in Detroit. You tried going to Michigan. You said you went to like
Went to community college.
went to community
Yeah,
college, and then what was it that made you want to come to Jackson? And what was it that made you want to go when you did? And that whole process of like what took you from I'm just you're living in Detroit to I want to move to Jackson, Wyoming.
Yeah. I had hit about the max amount of credits I could get at a community college. I'd been working full time, going to school, working towards my degree. I had transferred to University of Michigan Dearborn and had no way to pay for it. I wasn't going to take out loans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not independently wealthy. And finally, I just got to a tipping point where I said, I'm done with this. I need to go travel for a while. So I finished the semester, quit my job, and I went and traveled through Europe and did that for a bit. Lived on a few dollars a day, traveling around. Finally came back to the States, got a job bar backing and bartending, and then I had a trip planned out to Jackson. I'd never been to Jackson, but we were going to go summit the Grand Teton.
Those climber friends you have?
Yeah, with my climbing friends from Detroit.
Uh-huh.
And
That's probably not a phrase that gets said too often. My climbing friends from Detroit.
no, there's one climbing gym in Detroit. And it's popular, but
Is it a Vertical Endeavors?
no.
Oh.
No, it's called Planet Rock. There's one in Ann Arbor, too. Great gym. Best one I've ever been into. But there's not a huge climbing community in Detroit, and there's no outdoor climbing within. You have one top rope climbing spot within a 6-hour drive. Well, in Lower Michigan, I should say. And
Is it like along one of the lakes?
no, it's right near Michigan State and right outside of Lansing.
Oh.
And we would have to drive 6 hours down to Kentucky to climb, or to Devil's Lake in Wisconsin if you've ever been there.
Never been there, but I know where it is.
Yeah, cool place. And so, yeah, I came out here, and there was so many jobs out here, and I really, my passions are outdoors, mostly climbing, mountaineering. And I needed to get out of the city, move out west. And when I was visiting out here, there were so many jobs. I just applied to a bunch of them, took the first one that called me, packed my stuff up in my PT Cruiser, and moved out here. Yeah, within the 2-week time period.
That's awesome. So it's just the draw to get out of a downtown, get out of a city area, get into the nature area of stuff that you like to do, the activities you like to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then why was it? Did you pick here over other mountain towns because you just had been here and you saw the jobs?
It just lined up. It just lined up. Yeah, you walk around this town in the summer and you see job postings everywhere, and the newspaper posted on businesses.
Yeah.
I had just been working, maintenance, and like I said, bar backing, bartending.
Mm-hmm.
My resume wasn't the greatest. I'm not above any sort of work, so I figured I'll come out here, see what a month or two, I see what I can make out of a month or two here, and if I can find something permanent, I'll do it, and if not, I'll go back home. I'd been renting a place for my grandpa, so it wasn't like I was tied into a lease. I could go back if I needed to.
Uh-huh.
It was by no means ideal, but it was probably more ideal than just packing up my stuff and not having a place to go back to, I guess. So
yeah, having that,
it was a low risk in my mind. It was low risk in the sense that I wasn't going to be homeless at the end of the day. I mean, I lived out of my car when I first moved out here, but
what was
I
that
wasn't.
like?
Well, PT Cruiser's not a big car.
Did you get the seats down and you slept there?
The nice part I just would curl up in the back seat,
Jeez.
Yeah.
That does not sound very
Or
fun.
I'd sleep in the front seat with the back, with the seat back, just tilted back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that hotel gig I first worked when I moved out here, they had a shower and a kitchen and stuff, so I could sleep in my car and then go use the shower and kitchen.
Did you just have your car parked at the hotel, or what did you?
Yeah, I would just sleep in the hotel parking lot.
Did they have an issue with that?
No, I don't think they knew. I knew some of the people that I worked with knew, but I don't think my boss knew.
Wow.
I don't know if they would have had an issue with it.
That's actually a bigger issue than just you that happens to here. There's all these different, whether they're working at hotels or the river guides or the people that work in the tourism industry seasonally, especially in the summer. They there's not really great housing for people that make that kind of money, so they end up just camping the whole summer and hopping between campsites. No, you can sit in that chair. You can take all this stuff off. Hopping between campsites because there's limits on stays at campsites.
It's cool.
And yeah.
Some people are upset about the coaster.
No, not us.
Okay.
And so there's a bigger number of people that either live in their car, or they just camp for their summer here, or they have those travel vans.
Right. Yeah, parking's an issue, especially since you get booted off the streets. If you have a van parked anywhere downtown or on one of the city streets, you're gonna have the cops knocking on your door. Yeah.
Do you want to tell your story of that happening?
No. I was sleeping in a van one time and cops came. It was not I wasn't doing anything illegal. I just got woken up in the middle of the night and needed to leave.
Was it your van or was it somebody else's van?
If you don't want to tell it, that's fine. So I'm okay with them being that strict on that, because it's if they let camper vans just be wherever in any parking lot, this town would be overrun by that.
Oh, absolutely. I get why they
do
it.
That it's not super camper van friendly.
Right. I get why they do
In
it, but
town,
at the same time, you do need to address an issue of the cost of living being so high here and lodging being such a scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be a median. It can't be overrun, and it also can't be. There's no way you can possibly. You need to have a solution for the seasonal workers, I guess. And I know a lot of employers have employee housing.
Yeah. Now, if any business builds a new building, they have to include housing in the building for like 20% of their staff.
Or they have to own a different building.
Yeah.
Yeah. If one of you were to just like get booted out of your place right now, would you have anywhere to go?
Your place?
This couch looks
Yeah. Noah slept on my couch. He can vouch for it.
Yeah. Or Jeff has an extra room, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's not long term, though.
No.
And then you'd be kind of like, leases here tend to run spring, fall.
Yeah. But I mean, I make enough where Taylor and I make enough where we're not that, it wouldn't be that difficult. There's enough that we can find. The bigger thing for us is finding dog-friendly housing.
Oh, yeah, that's another big issue in this town.
Like, I don't know what happened, and all of a sudden, like, this year and last year is like nothing was dog-friendly. So I've been looking at housing out here for years.
If I was, at first thought, that's frustrating. At second thought, if I owned a property and was having short-term, like maybe a year, 2 year long leases, I wouldn't want dogs in my property either. Like
I'd want to
wood.
I don't think I'd put it in the ad. Well, this wood is actually specific for dogs. It's like
that's cool.
A pet.
It's dog.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's actually like a pet-friendly flooring specifically.
That's cool. Maybe that increases value. Probably.
Yeah.
Dogs increase value.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say no pets in. Actually, no cats. Fuck cats. No cats in if I own a rental property.
I don't like how cats pee in corners and you don't know until months later.
Yeah, my parents have.
Cats do things intentionally to like that they're not supposed to.
That's very one of those, like, I'm gonna make eye contact with you while I push this off the counter.
Yeah.
You eat the food that's on the counter and look at you like this.
Yeah, my parents have 4 cats at their house, and it is
4?
a zoo. Yeah, so we had one, a family cat, and she was super nice. And then my stepbrother lived with this guy, and then out of nowhere, he just left and had 3 cats. Or no, something with this guy's sister. But somehow my stepbrother just out of nowhere, out of the blue, had 3 cats, and he didn't want to just give them to a shelter or let them die, so we brought them home. And they're pretty funny. My dogs will chase them all the time. And they'll never do anything to him, but they just chase them because it's fun. No. Maverick is actually way more obsessed with chasing them. He'll like, this is a funny story. I was just getting ready to leave my dad's house one day, and Maverick had gone upstairs looking for cats, and I just hear like some crashing, like stuff just hitting the ground, and then I hear him like screaming, Maverick screaming upstairs, and I'm like, oh shit, what just happened? And I run up there, and he was fucking with the cats, and the 3 cats, they're all the ones that my stepbrother got, are siblings, they're all related. They cornered Maverick and were like sitting there pawing at him and hissing at him, like, and he's just freaking out, like, oh shit.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what kind of power those cats have.
Yeah. So he majorly fudged up there. Cool. So, getting back on track to, so you were here, you're working at the hotel, living in your car.
Yeah. And
then didn't you tell me someone that you just met here just like offered you to live at their place for a little bit?
Yeah.
Right?
So I didn't know anybody moving out here, so I made it an effort to talk to people my age. And so I had met a few people at the climbing wall, and I had enough at that hotel job. Let's just say it's not what I had thought it would be. And it was like I had lined up another job working for a moving company. And I was no longer going to be able to sleep in the hotel parking lot, so I was a bit concerned because, like, the PT Cruiser can't get to trailheads. It's not like I could have gone to Crystal Creek and camped.
Yeah.
You know, camping in the parks, for those of you that don't know, the national parks are expensive to camp in.
And it's just, you're stacked on top of people,
Yeah.
and there's limits.
So right exactly when I needed to find a place to live, 2 of these guys that I had met approached me, and they're like, hey, we're moving to our new place. We have like a 3rd space we need to fill for a month if you want to take it. And I was like, absolutely. So I crashed their couch for a month, and I paid them $400 for the month. And then I told myself by the end of that month, if I didn't have a place to live, it was going to be November 1st, which is cold here.
Mm-hmm.
Can't sleep, can't like long-term sleep outside at that point or in your car.
Yeah.
I said if I didn't have a place to live by November 1st, I was going to move home. And with maybe a week left to November 1st, my boss at the moving company came in and said, "Hey, is anybody looking for a place to live?" And I was like, "Yes." And there had been nothing in the newspapers, nothing anywhere that I could find. I didn't have a ton of money to like front for a place myself. So I had moved in to his old room with, like I said, a week left of my deadline there, and everything lined up the way it needed to keep me out here.
Was that your apartment behind
The whole grocer, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So that was, you could have very easily not been here any longer.
Yeah, I could be back in Detroit, like plugging away at a degree.
Yeah.
While I was working full time and being miserable.
And then how long after that until you got your job at Stio?
So I started week of Black Friday.
Did you just apply to a bunch of jobs and this is one that you got, or?
So Stio had an ad in the newspaper and they were touting, unlimited paid vacation after 2 years and X, Y, and Z. And I just applied and got the job. I didn't think I'd get the job. My resume isn't the greatest when it comes to like I've held jobs for a long time, but they haven't been anything special. So
not anything.
Got lucky. Yeah, I mean, like that's another thing where it was like, what's that? I got an A in keyboarding. I think that's what got me hired.
So
that was another thing that kept me out here.
Uh-huh.
If I was working for a moving company, I wouldn't still be out here.
Yeah.
So everything lined up the way it needed to.
So that job is kind of when you're kind of transitioning a little bit out of that right now, right? But it was customer experience team.
Yeah, still do that. I mean, I have a more specialized role now, but the way I view that type of thing is foot in the door.
Yeah.
So I mean, Steel's a great company. We get great amounts of work-life balance, which is important to me.
Yeah, the whole soul of the company is building gear for being out in the mountains every single day, and so they allow you guys to do that really well.
Yeah, they do. And I've never worked for a company that's been so about. It's important to the company's identity that we all do what we say we do.
Yeah.
So like, we go on ski breaks in the middle of the day, and
how could they brand themselves as like I just said, building products to be in the mountains every single day, being really, really pushed to their limits, the products are. How could they try to sell it that way without having the soul in their employees of doing all that?
Right.
Because I bet the best product testers are just the employees, right?
I'd say we do most of the product testing,
people
probably.
Yeah, they don't need to give it to some athlete. They can just give it to anybody who lives in Jackson, and it'll get tested to its limits.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Jackson is everybody here and Steel employees is pretty intense in regards to passion for the outdoors, passion for the mountains.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That's why I don't think you live in Jackson without that.
Yeah,
and that's something that's cool about Jackson. It brings people are here for something, and so everybody's like-minded in the sense that you all have that connectedness, which in most places you don't necessarily have that.
Yes, certainly in Detroit or Minneapolis, like you could be living right next door to someone that has. I mean, you have things in common with them, but you're not trying to get to the same place. You're not trying to do the same things as them.
Right.
We're here. we all have different jobs. We're all from different places, but we're all out here mostly to ski and snowboard, and then we all have our summer activities, and that's pretty much everyone. And you could find anybody randomly on the street, and you're going to have an activity in common with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because whether it's hiking or just the vast majority are here for skiing and snowboarding, but right. Yeah. But I said this on the episode with Jeff too, that the Jackson shows and makes it really clear who wants to be here, who really wants to be here, because it's so difficult to live here. If you don't absolutely love it and need it, mm-hmm. you're not gonna be able to work hard enough and do the things you need to do to stay here long term.
Right. So
it makes people show what they really want, and if they don't really want to be in these mountains all the time, every day, and work really hard to get that, they won't stay here very long.
No, there's no reason to be here. You can make money elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to Denver, and there's a lot more opportunity there, and you're near the mountains, access to the mountains, but you're not in them like we are here.
Right. No, it's really cool.
And so, yeah, the people who live here, longer than a year, they just absolutely adore living here. Mm-hmm. And I've really liked when I meet more people and I just feel the passion for Jackson come back to me, because I have a lot of passion for it, and I'm sure it comes off when I talk about it to people. But it's great to feel it come back from people that have lived here for a while, and they just, we know now like what it takes to live here for a long time, and so it's really cool. Someone's like, yeah, I've lived here for 20 years, and what that really means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it takes, and you sacrifice a lot too, because you're so isolated.
Yeah,
you're so isolated. It's hard to get to. I mean, flying out of here is expensive.
Yeah. There's almost nobody has mail. What do you do? Do you have a mailbox at your house?
No, I have P.O. Box.
Yeah, we have a P.O. Box here. Noah, do you have a mailbox?
P.O. Box, I can't really get things shipped to my apartment.
Yeah, so this is 3.
Yeah, just go around the bar.
Go
up the stairs.
I've ordered something and it was shipped FedEx, and I had the FedEx UPS.
Come sit over here now.
And okay,
move Alex.
One time I had ordered something online, and it was being shipped either UPS or FedEx, and I had the actual, I had the people from UPS or FedEx, whichever one it was, I don't remember, and they were like, yeah, so do you live at is this a commercial, what is this place? And I was like, oh, they were like, is that a restaurant? Is it a bar? I was like, yeah. They were like, where can we leave? I was like, you know what, this isn't gonna work. And I was like, can I update the shipping address? They're like, yeah, we don't know what's going on here. So yeah, it's just a headache as far as that goes. But that was mostly location. But other than that, it's more so just
it's funny
the fact that being in mountain town, not having a local post office box at your house.
Yeah, and that's everyone here.
Living behind a bar that proves difficulty with that type of thing.
Yeah,
you say living behind a bar, I just picture you with a tent
in a dumpster.
Exactly.
Bunch of PBR empties.
Like the guy from It's Always Sunny.
PBR
who
always
walks in. He's like, I don't remember. I can't remember the guy's name. He's the homeless guy. Always walks into the bar and asks if he can smoke PCP in the bathroom.
The one that was like a priest? That guy?
He was
Rickety Cricket?
Yeah, he was the priest and then became homeless.
Yeah, Cricket.
I think he lives behind the bar or something. Yeah.
I don't know where he lives. He's not really in the latest season very much.
But when I said lives behind a bar, I picture that.
Yeah.
No, very different.
Yeah. And this is
not that guy. No.
And for the listeners, so Noah lives in an apartment that's connected to a bar, but it's not out of town. Alex lives in the heart of Jackson, basically, in a house. And I live in a house on a hill next to Jackson, but we're kind of separate. And 3 different examples. All of them should have a mailbox, but none of us have a mailbox.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we give up here.
Life, though.
We give up there's not a Target. The Kmart's closing. Did you know that?
I heard that. I heard they're going to put in a Target.
Are they?
That was a rumor.
That'd be stupid.
My Minnesotan heart would be beaming.
I also heard Walmart.
There really should be a Walmart. The freaking Waltons have an enormous ranch here.
Why do we want a Walmart?
The last thing I want is Walmart. I take a Target over Walmart.
What's the difference
Target.
in your mind?
Target's just better.
I agree. Minnesota.
I don't think anybody would tell you Walmart's better than Target.
Well, it's certainly cheaper.
Walmart is
Mass.
cheaper, but
like groceries are cheaper there.
yeah. I don't know. There's just a negative connotation towards Walmart. It's like
I could see that, yeah. Because I wouldn't.
I
feel that way.
To those of you that love Walmart, I'm
neutral,
sorry.
but
Where do you think they put it? Just in the Kmart spot?
Yeah. Don't have to be.
Yeah. That'll be very small.
Walmart.
Target or Walmart, yeah, whatever they put in.
Both. I heard Walmart doesn't want to go there because Walmart wants it to look like a Walmart. And, Jackson, you have to have the log cabin-y look.
Yeah.
Like, you know how the log cabin, like that Kmart right now, they have the, like, timber, like, cover to it? Yeah. And I don't think Walmart would want that.
Yeah, but you gotta, the opportunity to have that kind of store here would be an enormous financial gain if they just figured out how to
Would it?
have something.
I think it'd be whack.
To have a Walmart
I
here?
think you'd lose money.
Yeah,
How is there a Subway here? I think about that all the time.
I don't know. Where is it?
Subway's next to like Hoback or next to Big O Tires, isn't it? Not Big O. It's by Fitzgerald's and
it's the same.
Hoback.
Domino's.
Right by Domino's. Domino's makes sense though because you sell pizzas at high volume, but I don't know. Subway,
There's not a truck just like backed into the driveway. It's weird.
Yeah. I something
There's almost no fast food here. There's like a Wendy's, there's a McDonald's,
Dairy Queen,
and Subway,
Pizza Hut,
but
Domino's.
Yeah, not very much.
There's a good bit compared to like small town.
This is
everywhere
has a Subway. This is the biggest town of 10,000 you've ever been to, though.
Yeah, it's a town of 10,000. That's actually probably more like 7,000 because people just have residency here for the taxes. But we support 3 million tourists a year.
Yeah,
year round.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's been really nice weather here lately, with no tourists because everyone kind of after Labor Day, people don't really come here very often. So a lot of the restaurants do 2-for-1 deals. The bars aren't super packed. The more popular recreation areas aren't very packed with people. The park is really cool to go in right now because there's no one in there. So right now it's been a fun time lately.
Off season's pretty.
We went to Teton Tiger last night.
Yeah, 2-for-1s. 2-for-1s everywhere. Not everywhere, but there's a good handful. Teton Tiger happens to be one of those places.
Yeah, we did Bin 22.
Mm-hmm.
They do like a buy one get one for $2, and the $2 goes to the hospital.
Okay, yeah,
that's cool.
Like hospital
so
charities.
Taylor's all about that.
A number of restaurants are doing the buy one get one for $2, and the $2 is donated.
I think Tie Me Up is. Don't quote me. This is the moral of the podcast.
If you want to figure out the actual deals for listeners here,
buckrail.com.
Go to buckrail.com. They have all the deals. And if you're not in Jackson, look that up and then plan a trip out here and text me. We can hang out.
Ooh.
It's okay. This is like
desperate for people to hang out with.
Yeah. when Taylor's working, she's in a stretch right now where she works 5 nights in a row.
Uh-huh.
We almost don't even see each other.
Mm-hmm.
So if we get into these stretches, I'm like hanging with the dogs the whole time. I'm like, I need some human interaction. I don't need a lot. But
there you go.
Did you put that up or did she?
Taylor and her mom.
Oh, sorry.
For those who are just listening,
the fact it's a fake tree.
We have a Christmas tree up and all of our Christmas decorations. Fake Christmas tree. We got it all up because Taylor's mom and sister were here, and that's something they like to do together. So they did that all.
Now I feel bad.
I
feel bad that I was making fun of it.
Are you guys going to cut one down in the forest this year?
No. This is more eco-friendly to have this because we're not taking a tree
I'm
out
not
of the
for
forest.
cutting down the forest trees.
I'm kind of a Scrooge.
A plastic tree is way friendly. They're going to throw out at some point.
What if it's recycled plastic? This isn't that, but that'd be cool, huh?
It's still going to be thrown out.
You want to start a business?
But is that? Yes, I do. Is that?
Hey, Christmas trees made out of plastic bottles.
recycled,
Dude,
You can pay $10
upcycled.
and go
We'll
cut
sell
down a
it.
tree in the forest.
We'll sell it in Denver, San
I
Fran,
hope there are
Francisco,
people
LA.
listening who have real Christmas
New York
trees,
City.
because I value that.
Austin,
Vermont.
Vermont.
Wait, what's being listed? I missed.
No,
We're
this.
Vermont,
doing
they get
upcycled, fake
Yeah.
Christmas trees.
We're gonna
So you
melt
take
down water bottles.
Ocean plastic, and you turn it into that.
Even better.
Or you could go, what real people should do.
Why are you so set on getting a real tree?
I don't know. It's my family's always done it. I think it's badass. It's cool.
Yeah. It is cool. It definitely
Just put
smells
hair on the
better.
chest.
No, but it does put a tree in your living room, which some people might think is a strange thing, but Christmas trees are cool.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with the Christmas trees. So let's say you cut it down right after Thanksgiving. You got this thing for a month, and then you throw it out. It goes into the landfill.
Or you burn it.
It's a tree.
It could be living, producing oxygen for the rest of us.
No,
It's
the
Christmas-
rainforest.
I'm supporting
the
local Christmas tree
rainforest-
farms.
It.
Local Christmas tree farms need my Christmas tree dollars.
They don't.
In
They
Rhode-
don't though.
You know,
I
it's
mean, I
just
don't
a
think they
side
have.
hustle.
I don't think they have.
My
it
dad,
in
my
Rhode- in Rhode
dad
Island,
sold
yeah.
Christmas trees when he was in high school.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, good for him. Good for him.
Did he like have a plot for them, or did he just like?
I think somebody owned a plot and brought in the trees. And
It was a
sold
Christmas
them.
tree farm. That, you never seen those?
We had
Yes.
those.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I asked about the plot. That's what I meant.
Okay, I got you. You probably okay.
I mean, in the city though, like you're not gonna have a plot in the city, so you
In the
bring
city.
it from like mid Michigan and then
Yeah.
bring it into the city, have them stand up, sell them.
I support whatever Christmas tree you choose to have in your living room.
Yeah. We're not gonna
I'm sorry for making an argument
over crazy
over a
Christmas tree.
Christmas tree.
So we have ours up. It's what is it? What's the date? The 10th?
It's
No,
November.
the 9th.
Arguments
Ninth.
aren't fun.
Well,
Dude,
we had it out the
those are due tomorrow.
7th, which I'm okay with because Christmas. I mean, I'm kind of a Scrooge, but this just having like these nice lights and the red and the soft and we put these
Taylor
sheets.
does a good job.
Yeah,
She does a
Taylor
good job.
absolutely adores like decorating and hosting. As you guys know from being here when we host stuff,
Charcuterie.
like she goes balls to the wall
The
and
word
like
makes me laugh.
wanting to create like a homey space.
She does a good job. She
Yeah.
does a really good job.
And
Taylor's a
where
good
I
host.
have like zero,
Good person.
probably most men have like 0 sense or drive to do that.
Mhm.
She makes any sort of gathering feel like it's actually something special, and it's not just
that's important.
and
That's
not just
that's
us
important.
bums getting together to drink beer.
Yeah. Which could be the nature of a lot of social settings that we take part in, but it's good to offset that.
Yeah, no. Talk a little bit louder.
Okay.
See, when I talk, how big the waves are.
His waves are bigger than your
Dude,
waves.
he shreds big waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, listeners.
I don't
Noah's
talk very loud.
Noah wasn't here for the sound test, so he didn't get to see like what we're looking for in the sound waves. And I can also, when I edit this, I can mess with the volume in different parts too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
don't worry too much about it.
Shredding huge sound waves.
So, I mean, Noah, since you're here, I kind of want to get into your story, but I think we should save that for another episode.
I think we should.
So, folks,
I
come back for Noah's full episode. It'll be out
Episode
soon.
4? Question mark?
Yeah, I mean, whenever Noah wants to record it. Maybe record it right after this.
whenever.
Yeah. All right, folks. So there you have it. That is Alex Kissonergis. Kissonergis's
You got it
story
twice. Good for
from
you.
a mountain town. My name is Tyler. Thank you, as always, for listening. If you want to have an episode on your own here on the show, or you have something you'd like for us to do on the show, or anything like that, always text me if you have my number, or DM me on Instagram is where most of you probably know me from. But thank you, and see you later.